My name is Darius Polok. I'm the managing director of Mid-Ost Association in Berlin. I'm born in Poland, and when I was 10 in 1978, we moved to West Germany. So maybe the first thing I really remember goes back to the very late 70s. This is a train ride from Poland to West Germany, and I woke up in the night and I saw the Odra, the river, and I understood for myself that we are crossing from one world to the other, and it was clear for me when I was 10 that this will change my life totally. So this is the first I remember, is this very strong feeling of crossing something which divides Europe into two parts. The second thing I remember, it's from a December morning in 1981. We were in Germany with my family, a Catholic family. I was small, so Sunday we went to school. Went to church, and when we came back, I remember that my parents were really nervous. And then my father told me that it's strange because in Polish radio they only play classic music, and we turned on German television, no news on Poland. And of course, because we knew that because of the Solidarność movement, the government was really nervous in Poland. We had this very bad impression that something's going on. We tried to call in Poland our relatives. There was no telephone line to get to Poland, and only the night the first information on German television appears that the martial law was introduced in Poland, and you could see pictures from tanks driving on Polish streets in Warsaw and the other cities, and this was a shock. And to be honest, this kind of pressure coming from the government, this was, for me, I was 13, so starting to think politically at the time. This is one of the really moving moments in my biography. And then in the next step is when I'm 18, so it's we are in 85, 86, something like this, and I had the chance to go to Poland again, and we make friends with some people. Well, the story was very easy. I walked on the streets, and I decided for myself not to go to the army. So I was pacifist, you would say. And then I saw on the streets in Krakow somebody also with this broken arms, and I started to talk to him, and we get friends. And this was the first moment where we created a kind of friendship between us as a group of pacifists and this Polish group, Wolność i Pokój, which was forbidden at that time. So and this was for an 18, 20 years old boy in Germany was great, because we took paper, we wrote paper to Poland and supported their publications, which were in the beginning illegal, later legal, but still they fought for the right to the right for young men not to go to the army, and this was, to be honest, an important step again for me, because this was the moment where I found out, yeah, we can do something. We can support people on the other side to change the society. So this may be the three things. As you know, there was a period in Poland during the martial law, and if I remember well, this was until 84, where it was very, very risky. People get into jail, people get killed. Like there's the famous story of the Catholic priest, Popieluszko, who got killed in that period of time, but this is just one example. But let's say it was risky, and then after 84 it was a kind of gray zone. And if you might know, the Polish society has a long tradition of let's say of work, publication, universities in an illegal illegal zone. What is the learning from the period of the German or Nazi occupation during the Second World War, where they organized flying universities and they organized publications. So in a way, in the Polish society, especially in the big cities, there was a kind of memory and a collective knowledge that it's something you could do, and the power. To be honest, it was there. It was risky, as if I remember, but the young people we worked with, and this was not really, I mean, it was samizdat, because they prepared stamps, and they make jokes out of the power. They didn't publish philosophical books like maybe this was in Hungary, but it was more a kind of anarchistic approach towards make jokes out of the power. So let's say the stamps, to produce the stamps somewhere in the night in a self-made publishing area where you had the papers from us, you could do it, and we helped them also, and then to distribute this among friends, and all the friends, they stamp it on the mailings they send around. This was a very important sign to show, well, we are not alone. There are many of us within the country thinking differently that what is said in the normal newspapers. So. The first is the rush. To be honest, I came in here today to rush with my kids to school to get here, and I have the impression, if I compare it with the old times, it is that the time we use the time in a different way. So this is something has changed. It's new. Secondly, it's the mobile phone and the smartphone, because in parallel I'm waiting for a call, and I was talking to my wife on this. So you have this kind of parallel communications through the smartphone. And the third thing which came into my mind is really this possibility to come together, to travel, to come together. You are right now in Berlin. People from Turkey are here. People from the Netherlands. It's this being together in one spot, in one city, with people coming from all around Europe, bigger Europe. This is something which it's getting normal. It became normal, but it's still, when you ask me to compare it also with the 80s, this is something. We have so many opportunities. I have some opportunities. You want to take them. You want to do things. So yes, it has something to do with the age. Something between 20, 25, and I don't know when it will stop. But it has, of course, something to do with the society, which gives us instruments, tools, opportunities. But I see a difference. I mean, I feel the rush here in Berlin, but when I travel and I go to one of the Eastern European, Central European capitals, I go to Warsaw. If I'm to take another example, I'm in Bucharest. But let's take Warsaw. When I'm coming back to Berlin from Warsaw, I really feel that the big cities in the former Eastern Europe are even faster. I mean, it's really funny that you can feel that the people there, they speed up even on a higher level than we do here. And I can't explain it totally, but you can feel it, that there is an even higher energy and a higher speed than here. In the mid of the 80s, and this has to do with my age, being 18, 20 at the time, but it has also something to do with the situation that a huge system was nearly to collapse. We didn't feel that it will collapse, but we could feel that there is something, strange about this system. Let's call it like this. And at the same time, in Germany, we could feel this. There was a huge fear to get an atomic crisis started. We shouldn't forget about this. So, in this moment, we had all this strong feeling that with our actions, protests on street, as I told you, bringing paper to Poland, we can do something, we can change something. And this was a very strong belief, and it was a driver for myself to do something. Today, even I'm still engaged, I do things, I support things. It's much more complicated. It's not so clear anymore. The world has changed into a multipolar state where, if you ask me, so where is the good and where is the bad, I couldn't answer anymore. In the 80s, it was easy. It was so easy to be on the right side. And that's different today. And it makes so hard, to decide how to engage, what to do. Right. Short. And the second is, I was just 2 weeks ago, a week ago, invited to a garden party of the German president. He invited like 4,000 people, socially engaged people, to his garden. It was very nice. And I was there with my kids. My 10 years old son was with me, and then there was this band playing called BAP from Germany, coming from the 80s. These were my heroes in the 80s. And they were singing protest songs. They were singing songs contra the establishment, the political establishment. And now this band was playing in this garden party of the German president. So, they became a part of this power system. But not just that they get corrupted in a way, but the power system in Germany has changed. The power system in Germany is now open for this kind of ideas of coming from the people. So it was strong. And then I had my son on my shoulders, and we were dancing to one of the songs, and this touches me a lot, because I could see that for him, being 10 years old now in 2014, he's living in a different country than I did when I was 10, came here. So you see the progress. You see the progress into a more liberal, more open society, and it's so good to believe that it stays like this. And at the same time, you switch on the television, you see the news from Ukraine, Russia, Turkey, Hungary, and you see that, no, it's not that. It's just an illusion that there is a progress. There is like, you have this in parallel development into more positive, more liberal, and in parallel you have the danger of a more authoritarian change in Europe. So, a short story. I have two things. One is, I remember that in the 80s I wanted to travel to Russia, and we had partners there, and to inform them when I'm coming, I had to go to the post office in Dortmund, where I lived at the time, and then to go to something they called telex. And this was that size, and you had huge letter on it, and you could write your own telegram on this. And I sent this telegram, and I really remember how I was sending this one sentence: coming on Friday 4 o'clock with train from Warsaw to Moscow. And just remember how this communication functioned mid of the 80s. And I remember this huge thing. This is incredible. I think my sons will never understand, they will never get this change within the last 25 years towards the communication channels we have now. First, and second is not that there was something, but in this age there was something not. And we never had a car in Poland, but we then had a car in Germany, and I really remember how I liked to sit in the back on the car and having no security belt. So you could sit in the back on a car, your parents were driving, and you could lay down, you could do whatever. It was there. And nobody cared, because nobody was saying, take care, it's dangerous to sit down. So, I mean, on one side it was a very dangerous time, but on the other side, there were elements of being more liberal, more having more freedom than today, where everybody's taking you need to have a helmet, you have to carry security belt and stuff like this. So there were some elements missing, which in a way I would like to have it back. I mean, it was good, more comfortable in a way.